Roll Tide, everyone, and welcome to Tide TV this week, brought to you by Thompson Tractor. I'm Roger Hoover, joined by Kira Goldstein. And Kira, great to have you back. It was also nice to have Alabama football back in action this past weekend.
Thank you so much. Missed you last week. Good to be back. Alabama wasted no time getting on the scoreboard as the Tide scored on their opening possession. The Tide's first offensive play saw a big 34-yard gain on this pass right here to tight end Jaleel Billingsley from quarterback Mac Jones. Najee Harris then capped off the sixth play 55-yard drive with this 1-yard score. After a Kentucky field goal, the Wildcats look to make it a 1-point game with a field goal, but the snap goes over the Wildcats placeholder. Wild ball, the ball ends up at the 42-yard line. Alabama ball, the Crimson Tide made them pay. Mac Jones finished off the scoring drive with this 10-yard touchdown pass to Devontae Smith, 14-3 Alabama. Then Najee Harris had one of his best runs of the entire year, a 42-yard touchdown run where he hurdled his own lineman in the backfield, stiff-armed the Wildcats defender, and dove into the end zone for the score, 21-3. But Bama wasn't finished with their big second quarter as Mac Jones with another touchdown pass, this one to John Mechie, 18 yards, and the Tide led 28-3 at halftime.
Tide took control of the game in that second quarter, but it also got off to a slow start in the third. After there had been two offensive possessions without a score, the defense stepped up. Jordan Battle stepped right in front of the Wildcats receiver on this Terry Wilson pass. Battle jumped the route, had no problem outrunning the Kentucky offense to the end zone for the pick six. 35-3 Bama. Then it was special teams that helped ignite the offense. Devontae Smith returned the punt 41 yards to the Kentucky 29. Brian Robinson Jr. finished off the drive with a 1-yard score to make it 42-3. With Bryce Young in relief of Mac Jones, he threw his first touchdown pass of his career. And is there any surprise he was on the receiving end? 18 yards, Devontae Smith, and the Crimson Tide kept pouring it on, 49-3. A couple of freshman running backs closed out the scoring for the Tide in the fourth. Roydale Williams scored his first career touchdown on the 2-yard score. Then Jace McClellan ran around the left end untouched for the final score of the game. That was his first career touchdown as well, as the Tide rolled big at Bryant Denny, 63-3 over Kentucky.
We got off to a little bit of a slow start. The energy, the intensity, the attention to detail early on in the game was not what we wanted it to be, but I think we played better and better and better as the game went on. We made some mental errors on defense early in the game and shifts and motions and some things that we had worked on, but it was just a recognition, deal. And offensively, I think we played better and better as the game went on.
Freshman Jace McClellan led the Tide on the ground as he finished just 1 yard shy of the 100-yard mark with 99 yards and a touchdown on just 10 carries. But the story of the night, Devontae Smith. The senior wideout became the SEC career receiving touchdowns leader with 33 touchdown receptions in his career. I have a feeling, Karen, he's going to be adding to that all throughout his career.
Absolutely. I believe he will too, Roger.
Absolutely. He's going to be adding a lot to that number.
Alabama was led on defense by Christian Harris, who had a game-high 11 tackles, 8 solo, including a sack. And of course, the pick six by Jordan Battle was a big play on defense as well.
The win was Alabama's 30th consecutive victory over an Eastern Division team, including a 5-0 mark in SEC championship games during that streak. It was also the Tide's 96th consecutive victory over an unranked team under head coach Nick Saban. Karen, that's the longest active streak in college football history, just the longest streak overall.
Very impressive. That is an impressive streak, and the Tide impressed the voters as well this week as the Crimson Tide became the first unanimous #1 team this season in both the Associated Press poll and Coaches poll. Alabama is the first team to be named the unanimous #1 in the regular season since 2018, Roger.
We love seeing that. We've been following those polls all season, but now, Kira, it's time to shift our attention to the one that matters the most, the college football playoff rankings, as the playoff committee released their first rankings of the season on Tuesday. And as expected, the unanimous #1 in both the AP and the coaches polls is the committee's #1 as well, as the Crimson Tide sit atop the playoff rankings. Following the Tide is Notre Dame at #2, Clemson at 3, Ohio State at 4, and another SEC West team, Texas A&M, is #5, with the Florida Gators coming in at #6.
As of now, the final playoff rankings are scheduled to be released on Sunday, December 20th. The Sugar Bowl and Rose Bowl semifinal games are scheduled for January 1st, with the national championship game slated for January 11th at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. History was made on Saturday in Bryant Denny, and when we return, we'll give you an all-access look into Devontae Smith and the Tide's big day.
Tide TV This Week, presented by Thompson Tractor, the exclusive provider of Caterpillar heavy equipment and genuine cat parts for Alabama and Northwest Florida. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for more information. The University of Alabama, where legends are made. Ford, for great offers on F-150, see your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
Welcome back. Finally, after a couple of weeks off, the Crimson Tide returned to the field on Saturday in Bryant-Denny Stadium. It was about time, Roger.
That was a long 2 weeks, and it was a historic afternoon as Devontae Smith became the SEC's all-time touchdown receptions leader, passing former Alabama star Amari Cooper and Florida's Chris Doering. Let's take an all-access look back at the game. This all-access feature is brought to you by Legacy of Hope.
Number 1, Alabama making their way down the tunnel into the field at Bryant-Denny Stadium. They return to the field for the first time in 3 weeks. Lobs over the middle for a first down on the throw and a hurdle. And Alabama takes advantage on the way to a 34-yard gain to Billingsley.
Here's the give. Najee turns it up the middle. Touchdown, Alabama.
Harris will walk through the hole for a 1-yard touchdown run. Alabama's offense has been nearly unstoppable.
Now on second down, Mack looks right, nothing there. Looks left, nothing there. He'll backpedal, he'll stutter step, he'll throw it into the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama! Devontae Smith.
Wow. There it is. There's the record.
And Devontae has just become the number 1 all-time receiving touchdown leader in University of Alabama history.
New Alabama record, a new SEC record. How about this line? Off balance to the left with only one right guard. Harris hurdles.
Goes down the left sideline. The race is on to the goal line. He'll dive in. Touchdown, Alabama.
They were out of position, and you can't be out of position against Alabama in number 22 because that happened.
Best in the nation. That's how you run that thing.
I love this defense. Pete Golding, man-to-man coverage. Lock them down, knowing that they're going to throw it quick. That's what they've been doing all day long. And right where you need to be, forcing a punt.
Going tempo now with 1:19 left in the half. Alabama trying to add to their total.
They fake the give, throw it across the middle. Caught by Mechie. Touchdown, Alabama.
Alabama was able to push it down the field in a hurry.
Terry Wilson looks and throws. Intercepted.
Intercepted by Alabama. And this one's going the other way.
Jordan Battle. See ya. Touchdown, Alabama. 43 yards. A pick six.
Alabama perfect in the red zone tonight.
Backs in the eye. Give to Robinson up the middle. Touchdown, Alabama.
Brian Robinson Jr. is in with a 1-yard touchdown play. 17 second half plays for Kentucky, only 1 first down.
He's gotten together. He's gotten this, get this team playing smart football, efficient football, and executing as well as I've seen recently.
Now Bryce Young in at quarterback for Alabama. First pass looking for Devontae. Left side, lays it into his hands beautifully at the 42-yard line.
Bryce Young eludes one, throws on the run. Caught! Touchdown, a spin in for Devontae Smith.
Bryce Young, his first touchdown pass as an Alabama Crimson Tide, and it goes to Devontae Smith. And here's the give, Williams right up the middle. Touchdown, Alabama!
Williams is in for his first career touchdown from 2 yards out.
I told you.
Here's Jace, left side, big hole. He's got a touchdown down the left sideline. As this ball game has come to a close with Alabama winning it by a final of 63-3.
Well, I think we played better as we went. I think we played better and better as the game went on. We struggled a little bit early, but I was really proud with the way our guys bounced back and played for 60 minutes, and we got to play a lot of players, so that was great.
Welcome back to Tide TV This Week, brought to you by Thompson Tractor. Saturday is going to be a great day, Roger. It will be the 85th edition of the Iron Bowl inside Bryant-Denny Stadium.
For more on this year's Iron Bowl matchup, our Christopher England joins us now. Christopher?
To preview this week's Iron Bowl matchup, I'm joined once again by former NFL and Alabama quarterback and current Crimson Tide Sports Network analyst, John Parker Wilson. It's great to see you, John Parker.
Good to be back. Big week this week coming up with the Iron Bowl. So a lot of excitement there. Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. You played high school at Hoover and obviously for Alabama. What does this rivalry mean, especially to someone from in-state? And now what does it mean to you? Even though you're not playing, I know it still means a lot to you.
It's as big as it gets. It's 365 days a year. It's one of the biggest rivalries in all of sports. It's what it comes down to. And it doesn't matter what our record is, what Auburn's record is. It tends to always be a pretty big game. So growing up here, living here, I know that being an Alabama fan, it just means so much to so many people. And these two sports teams being the pinnacle of the state, that's why it means so much.
Well, Auburn is the only SEC team to not give up more than 30 points in a game this season, as the Tigers' defense is allowing just 22 points per game. They are second in the league in pass defense, but 10th against the run, giving up over 165 yards per game. I know we talk a lot about Alabama just doing what they do and not let the defense dictate what they do, but could you see Alabama maybe running more, or do you think Steve Sarkisian and the Tide will kind of just keep it balanced?
I think they want to keep it balanced. I think that's the thought process this year, is to be 50% run, 50% pass. That being said, these guys up front on the offensive line have played phenomenal all year long. So if you get into the game situation and Najee's hot and he's getting a lot of yards, I could see him sticking with him just because of those stats you threw out. So you go in there wanting to be balanced, but once you get in the game, you don't really know what's going to take place. You just have to give what they give you. And as cliche as it sounds, that's the way that Sarkisian has been, as efficient as he has on offense this year, is going out, maintain that balance. But when he sees spots, he takes advantage of them.
Outside the Ole Miss game, the Alabama defense hasn't allowed more than 24 points, and that includes against Texas A&M. Auburn has been inconsistent offensively, but quarterback Bo Nix, he's completed over 70% of his passes over the last 3 games. Auburn's leading rusher, Tank Bigsby, is still questionable for the game. Now, you know Gus Malzahn is going to have a few tricks up his sleeve for this one. How do you see the Alabama defense matching up against what looks to be an improved Auburn offense?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're improving. Bo Nix is playing better, but to me, our defense has really been playing really strong this second half of the season, really since the second half of the Georgia game. Haven't given up a lot of points, and they've played efficient. They've played very good mental football. We know how athletic they are, but they're in position where they can take advantage of their athleticism and have been in, not a lot of blown coverages, not a lot of mental errors we've seen for this defense. So they've gotten better. As, we gave up a lot of points early in the season, and they've really turned it on and played some good football on defense here in the second half.
Well, John Parker, I'm looking forward to it, and I know you are too. It's going to be a good one on Saturday.
Can't wait, man. Roll Tide, another Iron Bowl. It's always big, so hopefully we come out with a win.
Roll Tide kickoff for the 85th edition of the Iron Bowl will be at 2:30 on CBS on Saturday. Stay with us. We'll have more Tide TV this week coming up next.
Welcome back. Let's now take a look at our Crimson Tide in the NFL Players of the Week, brought to you by BBVA. Derrick Henry did it again. Henry finished with 133 rushing yards, including the game winner, a 29-yard touchdown run in overtime for the Titans as they defeated the Baltimore Ravens. King Henry also registered a 5-yard game-winning touchdown run in overtime in Week 6, making him the first player with multiple overtime rushing touchdowns in a single season in NFL history. King Henry is also the first running back this season to reach the 1,000-yard mark.
He's the best in the game, and Minkah Fitzpatrick had not 1, but 2 interceptions for the Pittsburgh Steelers in their 27-3 win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fitzpatrick is tied for 3rd in the NFL in interceptions this season with 4.
Well, Roger, it was a big night for Alabama men's basketball last week as Kyra Lewis Jr. was drafted 13th overall by the New Orleans Pelicans.
Let's take an all-access look back at Kyra's big night and more on Alabama men's basketball in this season's first episode of Max Effort.
You want me to pat that thing for you?
No, don't pat this one. You can keep this one in your hands, please.
You don't want me to pat that rock?
No, why would you pat this rock? This is
I
the
ain't
rock.
gonna pat that rock, boy. I ain't no fool.
Last year, they had the top pick, and they took Zion Williamson, and he lived up to expectations with healthy. All right, we'll see what the Pelicans have decided as the pick is now in. It is 13th overall in this 2020 NBA Draft. Commissioner Adam Silver making his way to the podium.
With the 13th pick in the 2020 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select
What are the Quinterly brothers like together?
They funny. Super funny. Funny when they argue and stuff. I mean, I'm glad that I'm around it because I literally laugh at them two dudes every single day.
I mean, growing up, like, this kid played like every sport, like football, track. He did everything.
I did everything.
And I was strictly basketball.
So yeah, he used to fry me in the driveway, but
yeah, we had a little hoop. We had like an official hoop, like mounted into the driveway.
It was cemented in.
So that's where like basketball for us started.
With the 13th pick in the 2020 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Kyron Lewis.
That's big. Lottery. That's lottery, baby.
Say all you guys, man, y'all been a great family, the recruiting coach, man, and like I said, man, it's just great to see great things happening to great people. So proud of you, proud of your whole family, man, and just keep pushing to be great.
I heard Mr. Silver say my name. It just flashed from my eyes. I was so happy. Never been happy like that in my life. So it was good. I just hope that I show people in Huntsville, in the area in 256, that it don't matter where you come from. It's about what work you put in, and just trusting God, and anything can happen.
Mack looks right, nothing there. Looks left, nothing there. He'll backpedal, he'll stutter step, he'll throw it into the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama!
A record-setting touchdown grab from 10 yards out.
Looks and throws, intercepted. Take it to the house. Jordan Battle, see ya. Touchdown, Alabama! Young in trouble, ducks away, rolls right side, throws. It's complete. Touchdown, Devontae Smith.
Welcome back. Those were our ATI Plays of the Week. Now let's take a look at our Players of the Week, brought to you by Payless Drugs.
Devontae Smith had 9 receptions for 144 yards and 2 touchdown catches as he made history in the win over the Kentucky Wildcats. Smith became the SEC all-time touchdowns receptions leader on the same play with his first touchdown catch. Smith was also named the SEC Co-Offensive Player of the Week.
And Christian Harris led the Alabama defense with a game-high 11 tackles, 8 solo, and a sack. Harris led the defensive effort in holding Kentucky to just 179 yards of total offense, including just 27 total yards in the second half.
And those were our Payless Drugs Players of the Week.
Thanks for watching. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving week.
Roll Tide, everyone. See you next week.
Roll Tide.
This has been a presentation from Learfield IMG College.